Who's the most popular politician on the left?
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's, Bernie is,
Bernie, yeah.
Bernie is, I mean, he's not a capitalist,
No, he's not. And he's also not president.
But
never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, but he will, trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people, they boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
But they'll do it regardless. Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, but
they make anybody into boogeyman.
It has.
I think it was
just have more weight when it's real. I mean, when you can really show it.
And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win.
Yeah.
Bill Maher shows no hesitation. In a relentless series of real-time moments, he completely dismantles Mamdani's socialist ideas. Free groceries, free transport, free education, every promise scrutinized. This was not a light debate. It was a thorough demolition. Maher's takedown was sharp, uncompromising, and politically crushing. For a full breakdown, subscribe, because this one escalates quickly.
The new rule Democrats must recognize that Zohran Mamdani is the future of the party. Unfortunately, it's the Republican Party. Get it? And if you missed his victory speech in last week's mayoral election in New York, don't worry. You'll see it in every attack ad for the next 2 years. Now, Mamdani seems like a nice guy, and I congratulate him on an extraordinary political achievement. But before the whole left side of the country catches socialism fever, let's listen to the other big winner in last Tuesday's election, Virginia Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger, who, before the 24 election, said things like, if the party didn't shift to the center, we will get torn apart. And we need to never use the word socialist or socialism ever again. Well, she was right, but they didn't listen. Typical, am I right, lady?
Maher delivers a stark warning Democrats should heed. If they ride the Mamdani hype and let that far-left momentum shape their party for 2028, it's not just risky, it's a disaster. Online fans may cheer, activists may celebrate, but moderates retreat, independents hesitate, and swing voters see alarm. The election becomes a gift, wrapped in socialist branding, straight to Republicans.
At least the party has a clear choice here, very clear. One wing is saying don't ever use the word socialist again, and one is saying,
I am a democratic socialist.
Clear, huh? So how do we decide who's right? Well, it turns out we don't really have to flip a coin. We have the evidence. In 2024, 13 Democrats won. In districts, Trump also won. All moderates. This isn't rocket science. All the left-leaning think tanks have done autopsies on 2024, and they all came up with the same message: move to the center. Even the New York Times, which did so much to promote woke politics, now says citizens are wrong. Moving to the center is the way to win.
Maher's point isn't just emotional, it's visible in the results. Voters clearly favor normal, grounded, electable candidates. 2024 showed it. Trump won key states, yet Democrats like Josh Stein, Tammy Baldwin, and Alyssa Slotkin held ground. Social media may cheer extreme messages, but ordinary voters want stability. That divide is stark, and ignoring it is perilous.
The problem is, Gen Z thinks socialism's wired and capitalism's tired and billionaires are what's for dinner. And who can blame them? If you're 30 and still sharing a bathroom with roommates, capitalism isn't working for you. People will reject any economic system where there's strange hair on the soap. No one wants to be approaching middle age and still writing their name on food before they put it in the fridge. So they're quiet quitting capitalism and texting socialism that they're down to fuck. Thing is, socialism will fuck you. Because socialism, to put it simply, just doesn't work and has never worked.
Maher hits the left's nerve. Socialism sounds noble in theory. Fairness, equality, compassion, but history is unforgiving. Promises of dignity deliver dysfunction. Justice brings shortages. Security leads to decay. Millions of Americans recognize the risk. Mani leaning into socialism hands opponents a politically potent weapon to paint Democrats as radical and disconnected.
Democrats, I read these, 74% are for democratic socialism. Only 16% favor capitalism. Is this going to be a country that I don't recognize in 5 to 10 years if we don't have these two pillars? If we don't, where are the Democrats going with this? If Mamdani is the face of the Democrats on the East Coast and Katie Porter is the face on the West Coast, I don't know if that's great politically for that party.
The concern extends beyond Mamdani. It's about the Democratic Party's trajectory. Further left, more ideological, more confrontational. This shift alarms anyone who wants electoral success. Voters prefer candidates appearing system-friendly, not revolutionary. Radical ideas may energize activists, but they can alienate the broader electorate, signaling instability.
New York is New York. It's definitely it's the media capital, the financial capital. It is a bellwether like no other city is in this country. So don't tell me that who the mayor of New York is doesn't matter.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Do you think, let's say, on the seize the means of production, do you think the mayor, that one person, if he is a democratic socialist, do you think that he would have the power and influence to be able to, usher in socialism?
Some may ask, can one politician really shift the party? That misses the point. Change comes gradually, policy by policy, appointment by appointment, narrative by narrative. Fringe rhetoric becomes normalized. When enough insiders sympathize, radical ideas feel mainstream. The danger is slow drift, not sudden revolution, reshaping yesterday's extremes into today's common sense.
Definitely has the power and influence to elect J.D. Vance or whoever is the Republican candidate next time. It is a walking commercial for the Republican Party nationally.
I think the Republicans are going to...
When you let the Democrat socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get. The state-run grocery stores, which work so well in Cuba and the Soviet Union and Venezuela, just bad ideas. And again, this ugly streak, streak of anti-Semitism.
Maher's real fear is self-inflicted political damage. Democrats could walk into traps they created. Public association. With socialism simplifies attacks. Republicans need no strategy. The narrative writes itself. Ads, debates, arguments all echo the same message. Democrats endanger the economy and gamble with futures. Once framed, reversing it is nearly impossible.
Who's the most popular politician on the left?
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's Bernie? Bernie is Bernie is. He's not a capitalist.
No, he's not, and he's also not president.
He's not. But
never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No. No, but he will, trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people. They boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
But they'll do it regardless. Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, but
they make anybody into boogeyman.
It has.
I think it was
just have more weight when it's real. When you can really...
Donnie becomes a unique threat. Republicans typically exaggerate, but with him, reality suffices. Quotes, policies, agendas. They supply their own attack material. Unlike most candidates, he provides a ready-made weapon to the opposition, making Democrats easy targets without manipulation.
This must be horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. He is. He talks about, the things that communists say. He wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah. I think every 20 years or so...
Wait.
We need every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined, experiment with socialism so we can crack it up again.
Eventually, patterns. Repeat, socialism is not new. Its historical outcomes are familiar. Economic collapse, state failure, lost freedoms. Rebranding cannot erase history. Voters recall past failures and remain skeptical, not out of confusion, but from understanding its recurring consequences.
Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess. So, when the post-war Labour government in Britain was about to get started, one of their leading lights was a socialist named Nurian Bevan. He said, what could go wrong? He said, we have a nation bedded on coal, surrounded by fish. It would take an organizational genius to have a shortage of either. In 3 years, they had a shortage of both. That's socialism.
Maher's warning comes from the left, making it sting. If Democrats confuse activist enthusiasm with broad support, disaster follows. Electoral signals, historical lessons, and political vulnerabilities are obvious. To win, the party must engage real voters, not online bubbles. Excitement alone cannot replace credibility. Trust drives elections, and without it, losses may become terminal.